Sweated to the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth. Sweated to the truth.
I think that white people are committed to being villains in the aggregate, right? The real sort of issue here, and I've heard people sort of say it, is one, I think that white people viscerally fear. It's not that white people don't know, right, what they have done. They know. They fear that there is no other way to be human but the way in which they are human, which is to, so, like you talk to white people and whenever you really want to have a reckoning about it, they say stuff like, it's just human nature. If y'all had all of this power, you would have done the same thing, right? And it's like, no, that's what white humans did. White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them, Black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other for centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism. Right? We have seen what a show this iteration of treatment of other human beings means, and that my hope is that we would do it differently in the moments when we have some power. We will not do it perfectly, but I do think that all of us can sort of agree that a politics that says like there are superior and inferior human beings just isn't the way to go. And that's the thing that white people don't trust us to do because they are so corrupt. Their thinking is so morally and spiritually bankrupt about power that they can't they fear viscerally, existentially letting go of power because they cannot imagine that there's another way to be. It is either that you dominate or you are dominated. And isn't it sad that is spiritually who they are and that they can't imagine a sort of more expansive notion of the world? The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these motherfuckers out. But we can't say that, right? We can't say, I don't believe in a project of violence. I truly don't. Because I think in the end that our souls suffer from that. And I do think that some of this is a spiritual condition. So here is where I land most days about white people. And I actually have been helped in this by thinking about indigenous people, right? See, part of the challenge around whiteness is that it totally skews our view of everything, right? I gave this TED talk about this some years back, and one of the reasons I was trying to think about it is the world didn't start when white people arrived in America and tried to tell all the rest of us how things were going to go. There were people out here making worlds, Africans and indigenous people being brilliant, and, libraries and inventions and, vibrant notions of humanity and cross-cultural exchange long before white people showed up being raggedy and violent and terrible and trying to take everything from everybody. And that's really important because if we believe that history starts for us when white people drag us to these shores, then we can never get outside of the notion that this is going to be our existential struggle. All things that begin end. White folks are not infinite and eternal, right? They ain't gonna go on for infinity and infinity. And that's super important to remember, that white colonialism and imperialism has a beginning. And in my way of thinking about the world, that means it has an end. And so part of what we are trying to do is to imagine what are the steps that we must take to get to the other side of this very inconvenient epochal interruption of Black and indigenous world making. I mean, does that give people comfort on a day-to-day when you just having to deal with white folks and the travesties that they create and the sense that they want to destroy the planet? Nah.
Bruh, the amount of racism that was spewed in this video and nobody is saying anything is beyond telling. It's amazing that a woman can get away, or a Black person, but in this case, a Black woman can get away with saying things like white people are villainous, of saying things like white people are inherently evil, white people are an interruption, to talk about them as if they're a disease or they're a sickness. And then to top it all off, to say that we got to take these MFers out. That's some crazy stuff that she ain't getting canceled or even at the least getting corrected. But the truth is, we've gotten to a point to where white people can be criticized, they can be condemned, they can be talked about heinously, and we turn a blind eye to it as if it's not going on. But let a white person say remotely close to anything that this woman has said, and people are going to be ready to kill this person. They're going to be ready to hang this person. Let alone for the amount of time that she talked. She talked for like 5 minutes. I'm not even going to put the whole video on there, but she talked for like 5 minutes about a bunch of racist rhetoric that's just unexcusable. And had a white person said half of that, or even said a sentence, or said one word, and we know what the one word is, they would definitely be all over the news. This would be a really big deal. Why don't we keep that same energy for people of the different color who does the same thing? And our response shouldn't be, well, they do it, they did it to us, or they still do it. That's racist at the end of the day. To accredit an attribute or a characteristic or a capability to a group of people because of their color of their skin, that's literally the definition of racism. And to act like we can't be that way as a different group, as different colors, we can't be that way, is a total lie, and it's totally telling. It's totally telling right now. She's a professor at Rutgers College, a very prestigious college. Now, that's not to say that any college of lesser prestige, if somebody were to say that there, then they shouldn't be getting put on blast. But you would seem to think that at a more prestigious college, that they would have more common sense than that. They wouldn't be allowing these things to go on. She's an actual professor, and so her influence, so she's having a lot of influence on other people, on the people that she teaches, and possibly the people that come across her. And even if she doesn't talk this way to her classroom, people in the colleges have seen this video, and they know how she feels. They know where she stands. Imagine if majority of the people in Rutgers were black, professors were black, and they all thought the same way that she did. Do you know that there would be some definite injustice going on towards the white people that came in that school if everybody thought this exact same way that she did? And there are a lot of people, black people today, that think the same exact way that she does. And regardless of the fact if another person done that don't make them right, nor does that make you right. But the thing of the fact of the matter is that when a white person does it to a black person, it's already a thing that we're all sensitive to. It's already a thing that when a person does this, when a white person, is racist towards a black person, it's something that we're quick to put on blast because it's something that's been going on for so long. And not all white people are racist. And that not all other races are righteous. Literally, bro, I've met plenty of white people who are willing to go above, over, and beyond to give me the shirts off their back with nothing to gain from it, just out of the kindness of their heart. And I've met other people, other ethnicities who've done me the dirtiest. Now, of course, that can be flipped. That can be switched as well. I can do a vice versa on that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it's not about the color of the skin. It's about the content of the character. And if people don't realize that, what we do again is we set ourselves up for a mind frame or a mindset that a group of people are evil. And if we convince ourselves of this enough, then we can literally convince ourselves that we don't need this people. And that's a very dangerous place to be, especially when you aren't God. You know, we don't get to decide who stays here or who's not. When we understand the Bible in this context, when it says God created man and woman in his image. In the image of God, he created man and woman in his image and in his likeness. Every man, every woman carries the image of God. Sin has came in, so it's a distorted view. It's a skewed image now. But at the end of the day, we still have worth and we still have dignity because we are created in the image of God, and we all are sinners. That's proof that we're all one race. We all come from Adam. We all come from the seed of Adam, who allowed sin to enter into the world. And now all men, shape, form, color, it doesn't matter. All men, all women are sinners. Point blank, plain and simple. So when we try to make it again out to be that one race or one ethnicity is inherently evil and all others are not, if we can just rid the world of racism and this inherently racist group of people, you'll be lying to yourself. Because even after, bro, you can go to Jamaica right now, and they have, I believe it's called colorism, to where it's different shades. That even goes on here in America, where it's different shades of black, and one color and the lighter versions are more accepted than the darker versions. That's nonsense, bruh. And that comes from nobody but the enemy to divide people and make and uplift one and downplay another. And we just have to get out of these. We have to get out of these twisted mindsets.
Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth. Swear to tell the truth.